go to the right battlefield. There are so many things that are the features of fake news, which we don't have time to go to. But since I believe this paper will be circulated, there will be opportunity for everybody to see. Why is social media so critical to fake news battle? The reason is, one, the major reason is population that each social media takes care of. I never knew. Yes, Facebook, 1.2 billion. So when you put fake news across through Facebook, what you are doing is to put it across 1.2 billion populace. And I put the way to use it and what to do with it. Twitter is another one that it gets immediate response. So before the news is countered, it has gone too far. When the Twitter is on, you see Trump. Trump now has been said to have told 12,000 lies on his Twitter, but they were counting for him. And that is very bad. Instagram, that one helps you to even put action, because you'll be able to demonstrate the color, the original features, and it's talking to 17% of US adults. In Nigeria today, we are having not less than 23% of our population captured by that particular social media. Well, of course, we all know the power of Google and its allies. Google is a family man. He has wife, he has children, unlike other social media. But there are so many angles and so many platforms that it has been able to get. And as at the time of this research, we are talking about 300 million active users. The total population of users is about 540. And then if you put such, then this another Pinterest is another one, which as of today in US, you have 21% of the adults using it. 84% of these 21% are female. And with all due respect to my sisters here, you know it is easier to get information across within the women than within the men. Men pretend a lot, they don't say it out. But women, good luck today, they don't pretend. They will express their mind to you, whether you like it or not. And that makes this very interesting. And that is the reason why are we interested in this as information managers? When we have the features and characteristics of each of them, we should be able to engage in preventive measures. 82% of printers has a repin, which means you can always bring your link. LKM, which is popularly known as LinkedIn, is a professional platform. But if you look at it, it gives you also high-level literate people who can be believed. And this is where fake news is most dangerous. Because of the status of this population, because they are elites, they are believable people, they are respected people. So any fake news that goes into this circle is gone for good, and to do the damages intended was enough. The implications. National security is a priority for every citizen. So it's just like the GOC said, it is everybody's business. Security, everybody's business. When they are checking my luggage at the airport, I say, please do this, and I will tell them that you are saying it in my interest. I will do so. They will look at me because what that security man wants to do is in my interest. It is not against me. But people will frown and complain, you are wasting my time. So, but when you hear boom, you don't know who is going to beat it. Yeah. So, and that is why. But there is something here I want to mention. When you are a duty man, that is a duty man, you have representativeness and responsibility. That is why I was sharing with my colleagues sitting there, when you talk about the military unit that is smallest, let's say a group of 10 or 12, the highest officer there is maybe a corporal or a sergeant. That sergeant must have direct access to the spokesmanship direct access to spokesmanship for what we call feedback. The feedback loop from every level of headship is the building block of a successful PR manship in the military. Like the case cited earlier in the morning, that the captain was the highest level of the person there. It doesn't matter. Rank now has to be subsumed in responsibility and representativeness. But we are talking of security. So if it is a corporal that is there, that is heading the other constables or other privates, about 10 or 12 of them, that corporal or that sergeant must have access to give feedback to those who will say, who will state, who will present the history and speak on behalf of the organization. Then we have other functionalities there. What to do? Because, like I told you, I'm giving you a flash news. Do it yourself, DIY. Must dominate military information and approach with guidance, codes, sanctions, and competition. And of course, even with motivation. You don't lose sight of all your military ethics and that's all. But this is where you must come with your own initiative. There must be a level of initiative display. There must be a level of knowledge acquisition and then demonstrated. It shouldn't be just like General Kolade was saying when he was delivering his paper that we don't know what they are doing at the top, or we don't know what the guy is saying. No. Because just like if you are caught up in the web, you've been victim number one, and you have a job, that's why you have a position. And don't forget, you also have a future. Rates directly. The fear of the bloggers, yes, the beginning of PR wisdom. I have said that the theater of the war now is the social media. The real battlefield is social media. This is the era where everybody must be a master of the social media game. And apart from you playing the role doing it yourself, you must have courtship, friendship, and retainership among the bloggers and among the traditional media. There must be army of corporate defense in social media for Nigerian army. There must be army of product defense for the media practitioner in the Nigerian army. And those are non-military personnel who are masters of the game of blogging. Because they have the access, they have the platform. What do you then do? You provide the content, because content is actually the issue. When you don't produce a befitting content, they fill the vacuum. The nature of news is that media, whether social or traditional, cannot operate in vacuum. Automatically it attracts content. And any available rubbish is content. When the originality of content does not come from the main source and expected source. And that is why rumor takes over. And today in Nigeria, even in business, majority of companies that are failing their duty, they buy more fire extinguishers instead of buying rumor extinguishers. And rumor extinguishers are human beings, trained, schooled very well in public relations. And the same thing goes for any other organization. Since there is parallelism in advantage in equity of communication, similar relationship pattern is necessary with conventional media. The grammar I'm blowing here from the back is that you must know that parallelism in communication is a law that must be obeyed to the letters. The same information must go to different target audiences according to the level of their own language. Where you need to use graphics for the dumb and the deaf. You use wordings and text for people like Prof. You can read. If it's a Bible or a Quran, you can read the volume overnight. Then at the same time, for somebody who doesn't have time, it's a businessman, and you want him along, you put it in pidgin English that you will understand. Simple and stupid. Everybody must get the same information, but at the level of his own language. Very key. But most times, We say the same thing to different people in the same manner. And then we have high level of wastage, which scientifically has been found to be 73%. And you are happy. Oh, they are reading us. And everybody believes that we are okay. We are carrying along our audience. It is not true. It's your own intention. It's your imagination. You are not carrying them along because you are not on their platform. I'm a managing director of a company and a multinational for that matter. Last Saturday, I left my car and I entered Molwe from Pangrove to Igbo. What is my problem? My problem is I want to be at the level of the people I'm talking to. The president of Coca-Cola will not go to 5-star hotel in his walkthrough. He will go to motor parks, he will go to tourism centers, he will go to the beach. And he will be telling people, Coca-Cola is your product. We are only managing it for you. I am your chairman, your chief messenger. Enjoy life. We are selling social life, not drink. So the same approach is necessary. And by the time we are at the right venue, right language, with our information, we get responses very easily. Feedback is the first medicine, preventive medicine for PR strategic communications, which General has mentioned to us. Strategic communication thrives on feedback. When you are accessing feedback, you are directed straight to where the problem is and the right causes. Then you'll be able to get a right treatment. And apart from getting that done, you also have friends that you may not be able to know. Friends that will defend you when you are not there. Because when you get your replanning done and you get back to them, they are very, very happy. Now in this era, analysis is a necessity. Analysis is a necessity. Before you go and say A to the media, you must get everything that you're supposed to get. Because it is not retrackable, especially on social media platforms. The news is not enough. The content is the story. News is not enough. Oh, we have told everybody that yes, we did it, we achieved it. No, it's not enough. Content is the story. And in content, you need information, you need education, you need persuasion. It is when you can inform people adequately, clearly, you can educate them and change their mindset, and they can join you in your cause, and then you have convinced them, and you can say, yes, they are part of me, I am part of them. Don't just inform, educate, and convince. Credibility. You can only build it, you cannot acquire it. And that is why when there's a change in leadership in the information management platform, a director goes, another one comes. The whole things get as if either it's scattering or it's just skyrocketing, depending on the leadership quality. You cannot divorce credibility away from the leadership quality. Because a leader cannot give what he doesn't have. It is the leadership that builds the new structure, the new system, and the new strategy. And when the structure, strategy, and system, they are in alignment, wonderful performance. Wonderful. But when strategy, system, and structure are against normality, crisis, crisis, crisis. Graphics must be the replica of the original, and credibility of the source is a must. When we are using photographs, diagrams, maps, graphs, all those graphics, when we are using them, it is a necessity that we must get that done. I have some cases here. CNN case, era of fact-checking. Yes, as a leader, as a military officer, don't think once you say it, people believe you or they respect you. No. Even Trump, president of US, they went back to check all he has been saying since he came to power. And they found out that he has given 12,000 lies. So the public is watching. They are after you. So, and Putin's secret army, which he believes nobody will know. The dear lady found out, the Guardian detective reporter found out and made a very robust disclosure. Carola Kodwala, she found out detective who inspired the great act. There are always somebody behind. Because there are 3 different damages in any system. Intentional damages, which are your own staff, maybe because they have a reason, they have iron to cross with you. Then teleguided damages, those who are sent and sponsored, like our Boko Haram people. And of course, ignorant damages, which you can easily control and use to overpower the first 2. Because they lack knowledge. If you can give them adequate knowledge promptly, you will empower them to join your army of correctiveness. When covering data, when you are covering data privacy, there's a pattern of harassment. True or false? True. So you must bear that in mind in the course of doing what you are doing. This is a funny one. When you turn it up, it gives you a different story. When you are about ugly and pretty, see? So if we have the time to read this upside down, it's a very interesting version. But unfortunately, we don't have time. So I think individual will have time to go through. He said, the person who is ugly, what he says to himself is opposite of what people who see him as ugly person says to him. People still see beauty on him in certain respect, but he condemns himself totally that he is ugly. And whereas there is still, look at this man, he has so many ladders and he wants to climb up, but he's standing on all of them and he's crying that he doesn't have enough ladder to get to where he's going. And that is the way we manage information at times. All those ladders are information to get to different places, but he's still making use of them and he believes he doesn't have enough. Yes, this one will interest you. One particular head of state during the military era was under bombardment of the media that he has incarcerated hundreds of people at Itaoko prison. Those of us who remember, and the media was awash that this is a terrible happening and so on. The head of state did not say anything. He called the strategist communicator in the system, and that was it, sir. Your Excellency, don't argue, don't grant any interview. Next Saturday, ask all the editors of principal newspapers in the country to join you in your executive jet. We now go to Itaoko, let them see that it's empty, nothing is there. And that was what happened. We were all taken to Itaoko, and we got there as a reporter. We were ready to say, yes, today we are going to see all the casualties. We are going to interview all those people who have been hiding, they've hidden away from years. And we got to Itaoko and found that Itaoko was overgrown with weeds. And the head of state said, hey, my friends from the press, my friend from the press, go back and report what you have seen. So we have seen all the lizards and millipedes that are imprisoned. Are they your brothers? Are they your sisters? That was how the crisis of blackmail that he has put so many people in jail got killed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think Doctor deserves another round of applause for well-delivered lecture. Without much waste of time, Doctor is hurried to go, and the next segment for this lecture is moderation and discussion of the paper. And the moderator for this very paper is no other person Alhaji Shao Shaibu of PR Nigeria. Please give him a round of applause as he takes his seat on the podium. Alhaji Shao, please. Thank you. The first discussion is our own, the former Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General J. Agi. Please a round of applause for him as he takes his seat. The next discussant is Mr. Jibrin Baba Ndachi, former special advisor on media to Governor of Niger State. Please, round of applause for you too, as you take a seat. Thank you very much. On this note, may I respectfully hand over to the moderator to continue with the discussion and moderation of the paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Director, Army Public Relations. I have to stand on the existing protocol because of time factor, and I learned that the former president of NIPR actually need to catch his flight. With permission of the Director of the Agri, we can allow him to proceed. Did they agree? That he want to catch his flight? We agree? Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Catch a cruise line, not a take flight.
Once again, you are all welcome to this session on fake news. I think the presentation of the speaker, which is on fake news and national security, implication on military operation. I'm glad with me to discuss this paper. It's a fellow of Nigerian Public Relations, the former Director, Defense Information, who not only was in the military, but also was chairman. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Sorry, the moderator. Thank you. The moderator, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you once again. I'm glad here to discuss this paper. We have two gentlemen. One from the side of you, if you belong to the PR person, or you, if you're in the media. And I'm glad, I'm not asking them to debate or argue on the issue, but we'll look at the paper, how it was presented. Though I expected, but when you look at the paper, what you were supposed to discuss is fake news and national security, implication on military operation. And when he started, the empathy was on proliferation of social media, how social media has taken over everything. And I can see that most of the attack was more on the social media. But the fact still remains that he's emphasizing on two issues when it comes to fake news. When we talk about fake news, we're talking about two things. Either there's misinformation or disinformation. There's no between the misinformation and disinformation. Misinformation may be innocently shared, fake. While disinformation is deliberately planned, manipulated to wreak havoc. That's the empathy of all the points he's raising. I expected that probably he will have talked about not only do we have fake news in the social media, but also some social media, even some station. But meanwhile, my only here is to moderate this session. I would rather like to call on the former Director of Defense Information, who also happened to be the chairman of Forum of Security and Response Agency, FODRA, which has about 17 agencies in that forum, to look at that issue of fake news. From what perspective? From the military security perspective. What is your concern about fake news? How can it be addressed from that PR perspective? Yes, sir. And I invite retired General John again to put us through.
Well, the moderator, ladies and gentlemen. I was discussing with Dr. Rotimi Oladele yesterday. It's always a delight whenever we have opportunity of receiving a presentation from him. Unfortunately today he is not, because of his tight timing, he could not give us all that he has in stock. But at least by the time we go through the paper, we'll benefit more. But let me say that at the heart of terrorism and insurgency, it is the intention to cause fear. It is the intention to cause trauma. It is the intention to make everybody feel that the government of the day lack the capacity to protect its citizens. And when, before they come up with their intention, their media platform is at the best. And unfortunately now, with the growth of social media and online media. So when we talk about fake news, how it affects national security and military operation, we must have that at the back of our minds. I also want us to see, the presenter has already mentioned it, but I want to say that the popularity of fake news with people who transmit the fake news, sometimes without knowing what they are doing, has brought to bear a situation where fake news is more popular. Fake news sometimes make those people who are in position of speaking on behalf of the government to look as if they are the ones that are fake. When I left service and I interacted with one of my friends who are in high position of responsibility, I was surprised to find out that some very tough people, top government functionaries, it is me that they were looking at somebody who presents fake news. And the only thing that could help me, they talk about my body language when I was defending government activities. They said the way you present issue, your mean, shows that you could be telling the truth. They will just pity you that you are fighting a lost battle. That is what fake news has done and is continuing to do to our operation and national security, which means the bad people are winning the war because they have everything for them, going for them. So fake news make the hunter to be the hunted. You try to tell the people this is not correct. And people, there was a time that when with the former chief of defense staff, was the present chief of defense staff, when I was working with him, he said, look, do you know where the problem of fake news is? It's even among very senior officers. If you sit down, you discover that some of the things that you pass, you forward to other people. Something that you know that is not correct, but it's funny. You just decide to forward it to somebody without considering the implication for that news that you are sending out. And when you send it out to somebody, the person look at the source who sent this news. So the source is the news. If you look at what makes news, the source is as important as the news item itself. So most times the things that we send out, most times I used to ask people, I say, what is your intention of sending this news? Because the news we are sending now, apart from the fact that it's not correct, it is also, it can cause fear. It can cause trauma. And it is making the terrorists and the insurgents to be on the winning side. So that is the issue. And the moderator was talking about the issue of the mainstream media that we now call the traditional media. Maybe when we are talking about the traditional, we will talk about the traditional. Before now, you see, when a journalist feels offended by anybody in position of responsibility, they will say they want to harass you by giving some news about you that is not correct. And that in itself is fake news. But with the online media from almost of all the media houses, when you give that news and the thing goes into online and people read it from all over the world, you discover that what you intended to harass an individual, you are harassing the whole security system. You are harassing the government of the day. And so there is so much implication of fake news to the national security and especially our military operation all over the country. I will give you an instance. People call me and talk about why don't I contribute to knowledge by maybe going to the academics. I said the only thing I want to, if I want to do that at all, is to change that maxim that we have a public relation that the citizen has the right to know. The citizens don't longer have the right to know, they have the right to know the right thing. Because when you are giving people information that is causing fear, then as a journalist, you are not responsible. We have an issue, let me conclude by giving this, we had an issue in Lagos sometime in 2005, 2015, where I think the terrorists were able to detonate a bomb in Ababa War. And the Commissioner of Police Lagos went there and saw it and he said, no, it wasn't a bomb, it was a gas explosion. Then one of the leaders of this terrorist group sent a press release and said, well, between the Commissioner of Police and himself, and God knows that he was there at the one that detonated the bomb. Then a reporter from one of the radio stations, when he got that information, from my way from Victoria Island to the airport, I had it from the radio station more than 3 times. Now the question is, who is that reporter working for? Do you understand what I'm talking about? That when you propagate information from that is capable of causing fear, then you are not doing the right thing. And I think that is the thing that we should know now as journalists, as mainstream reporters, so that we don't add to what the social media, the social and online media are doing in order to cause panic and causing problems in our military operation and national security. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Abdul. I give a round of. Thank you very much, sir. From his brief remark, he emphasized the essence why fake news is manipulated deliberately for the target audience. And like he said, it is intentional to do what? To cause fear, tremor, dampen the spirit of our troops, and weaken their morale, as well as the confidence of the students. And then how can we address it? The embassy thought the last remark was the fact that there's need for responsible reporting. And responsible reporting here is not just about the fake, the negativity of the story that is not true. There are stories that are actually true, but you ask yourself, is this worthy of publication for national interest? Yes, the media sometimes they talk about fake news because it doesn't serve the national interest. Like some of the attacks in the Northeast in some places where some media, I don't want to mention them, will publish even graphic details of incident. Truly, to some of us, we know some of them to the extent they are true, but is it responsible reporting? And we have seen what General Olukade said a while ago about the experience they had. Look at that intervention, whereby the BBC, imagine foreign media have to intervene and to save the situation. Because there's a way whereby we have to know, even sometimes, to some extent, we can propel in propaganda. That's something we will do, maybe, and polish it so that to boost the morale of the people. So that's what the general is saying. Now, take it to even though it's a PR person, but I don't see him here as a PR person because the fellow has spoken. I'm talking about the journalists representing the media here. What is your perspective about fake news? And then how can it be addressed?
Thank you very much, sir. Let me use this opportunity to also commend the presenter who have also benefited from immensely in my career, even won an award, which is the Presidential Star Award as Chief Press Secretary to Niger State Governor. I also like to recognize my mentors and godfathers and the job in my career. Please permit me to do this. Some sitting right here, the former director and Alhaji Shaibu, former DDI Major General Chris Olukolade, Brigadier General S.K. Usman, Air Commander Anas, Chairman Napier Kaduna Lai Bashir, and the current director, and others, and then my colleagues and friends, and also my godfather who I grew up in his hand and he's sitting right here. Good to see you, sir. Dr. Rotimi was, as expected, just issued a paper and raised quite a number of issues which will concern all of us. But like he concluded, fake news like rumors is not new. So let's not say, well, because what the social media is doing is to amplify. Just like when you talk about hate speech, hate is not new. What is new is that the social media make it viral. So fake news is not new. The instance he gave of fake news about a former head of state having a dungeon or so is fake news. But use a strategic communication strategy. But what happened now, and that is why in my earlier comment I said, every information manager should know that he is an information manager in the age of social media and therefore is perpetually in crisis. And I would like to use my own personal experience as Chief Press Secretary, Governor of Niger State, some of the fake news that were used by people I call social media insurgents. I coined that word in one of my response. We had, the governor was on a local government tour in the state, and we were moving to, it was going on very well. And then I was at a point, and then I just got an alert that there is a video that has gone viral that our convoy was torn at a point within the area that we have gone through, and nothing like that had happened. So I quickly look at the video. and discovered that it was a fake video. The video was actually of an incident that happened during the handing and taking over between the former governor, Dr. Muaz Babangida Aliyu, and His Excellency. Quickly, we responded by issuing a statement saying that it's not just fake, but it's the handwork of social media insurgents. Because even as we look at fake news, we should also be mindful of fake folks. So it's not just fake news. And it's not only those who use those fake news to make it viral. There are people within the system who enjoy information manager being in crisis. They benefit from it. And then in fake news, something is so you don't, as information manager, don't just look at fake news. Also be careful about fake folk. Physical purveyors of this fake news. That is one of the case studies. But what I have also discovered, in addition to not just fake news, but even the structure of information that emanate from security agencies. We gave instance of the issue between the army and the police, but that is not just one instance. We know that until FOSRA was established as defense correspondent, it wasn't the battle with fake news, but battle with believability and credibility of information. If an incident happens, if it is the DDI that should give information, let him be the one. If it is DAPR, Director of Public, let him. If it's DINFO, if it's DOPRI, depending on the agency that is the lead agency, if it's the police and all of that. And based on that experience, because I'm trying to share my practical experience and how I solve problems using my experience as an embedded defense correspondent, as chief press secretary, and the learned lesson for all of you as information manager on the ground, boot on the ground. One of the steps that I took, and there was also an instant in Mina, and I'm glad Alhaji Isha Shaibu, every major crisis that I battled with, and Organas and several other senior officers, they were there for me at that particular period. There was a prison attack in Mina, which you all know, and it was the fasting period. I just had broke my fast, and my attention was called. Already there were stories in Mina within the social media space that there were gunshots, and nobody knew what had happened. I quickly put a call to the PRO of prison. Before then, based on my experience with the first group, we had established forum of spokespersons of critical institutions in Niger State. My office coordinated all PROs of security agencies in the state. We had a platform where we engage, we anticipate issues of security and all of that. If there are issues, we know the reason. So when this happened, I quickly called the PRO of prison, police, and civil defense and said, please go to the prison, find out the truth and nothing but the truth. They went there, they called me around 9 that it was a prison attack. Are there casualty? They say yes. I said, what happened? They said a prison warder and the motorbike man that took him were killed. I said, okay, fine. So we need to meet. And I spoke with Allah Isha and we met around 10. And I told them, I said, they said, okay, what do we do? I said, we'll issue a statement. Let's draft a statement. And they said, what do we say? I said, we'll tell the world that it was a prison attack. And we also let the world know that there were casualties. We also let the world know that this is the step taken by the security agencies. This is the number of the prisoners that is willingly returned back to the prison and all of that. And they said, but why should we? I said, no. If you hide this, the world will know. And that was what happened. And we stayed together until around 1 a.m. And I said, it is only Nigerian prison, the PRO, that should issue a statement. No statement from Niger State government, no statement from police. No. So what I'm saying in summary is that it is not just fake news that is our challenge. Believability, credibility of the institutions and even the source. If there is command and control in how information is shared, if people know that, for instance, the chief press secretary will not lie on an issue, he will say it as it is. If there is an issue and then there is no interagency rivalry in terms of how information is managed, it's because sometimes interagency rivalry is even worse than fake news. Because you create air of instability in, and people will not know what to believe. Finally, there is also what I think the Nigerian Army and indeed the security agency should do. We are in the war of winning the heart and mind. And the insurgents, and let us also understand that the battle space for the insurgents is not just Boko Haram. I've said it severally that there are people who are not carrying arms, non-state actor, highly placed, who are worse than Boko Haram. Of course, you, as non-state actor, you may even know Boko Haram. But a man or a woman who sits in his room, maybe even outside the country, or is here in Nigeria, can afford to take the next flight, or can he share something on social media, there is that believability, and then he creates that. So what I am advising the security, or my suggestion for security agencies, is that we should look beyond each of these battle space, Boko Haram, kidnapping, and look at how the image of each of these security agents in Nigeria is received. Because in PR, there is what we call forgivability. You are an institution. The institution has built a kind of integrity or image for itself that even when that institution goes wrong, people say, no, but this is just a mistake. They give you benefit of that. The scriptures and say, no, that cannot be true. But it requires a strategy of winning the heart and mind of the people by building narrative, because on every issue where fake news thrive in Nigeria is that we don't have a consensus, national consensus on any issue. The image of our security, do we have a common front to support them? No. The country as a whole, do you have a common narrative around our country as a whole? No. So you give room for all manner of rumors, and rumors will continue to thrive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jibela. In fact, this presentation, one thing you can understand is in the field. And he, just like, happy that most of those who have been presenting here, they have known from the personal experience. One thing for sure that you can't take away from what he's saying is that when he mentioned the word which he coined, that is social media incident. How do you tackle them? And from that, yeah, it's true, they are. And luckily enough, the time when he was especially the chief secretary in Niger State, there are many incidents. About two of them, like just George that is so cheap up. There are many incidents that you cannot say publicly. How even the governor was not in town, but something has to be done timely, responsibly, and then many things happen. The incident of a bridge that collapsed, serious crisis, but there was synergy with all the agencies through that forum was forcing. And similarly, when there's fire out, the vandal something, that or pipeline, that's the way they intervene. At that time, they're using the same phone like FOSRA as the central body, but it's not the one speaking, just pushing it and allow the relevant agency to speak. And then they are coordinating everything. That's why they have a very, very conducive, very, very vibrant interagency collaboration in Niger State. And similarly, we're not surprised that some of his campaign won the last African Population Award in Kigali, and same campaign, in fact, the first state to be a finalist in the Golden Award Award, which is coming up in Armenia, is the finalist, even though couldn't win the award. But what the essence, the message here is that in all our communication, responsible reporting, timely response with convincing arguments is very essential, and synergy, collaboration. There's need for it. So that's what I said. Now, before we go into the question session, the speaker is not here, but I'm very, very happy. And in general, I've said that I'm safe now, that he is representing from the PR people, this journalist. So by the time you are throwing all your bomb, I'll just stay in the middle. If it is related to PR, the general will do that. If it's media, my own actually is simple to moderate. Please, can start taking the question or contribution from the, yes sir, the prof.
Contribution, sir.
Yes sir.
Yeah.
Once again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk. I just wanted to ask, you know, sometime a few years ago, in Zaria, the bomb went off. It went off in Wosasa. It went off in Sabo. I was holding my little baby, just 6 months old. I just hear, the roof shook. And my little boy went outside. Daddy, what perched on our roof? And I remember that without you, without the Nigerian army, I don't think all of us are going to be here by now. Am I right?
You're right.
Do you remember the logo as you're entering DAPR? Who can remember it from me? There's something they wrote. No going back. Our army, our home. Why we are here, even like people like me, over the years I've contributed to this image projection from the Nigerian army. And it all boils down to all of us. What can we contribute to move the army forward? Fake news has been banned. It has really become so rife now. In fact, some universities are already establishing department of social media with specialization in fake news. That is what is happening now. A lot of universities, and we are dealing with it seriously. Our students we are teaching, even in classrooms, they are holding, they are browsing. When they are in the toilet, they are browsing. A mother giving, a wife giving the husband food is browsing and then dropping the food with one hand. So we dive straight to what is happening. The onus is on us to remember that as field officers, you need commanders. You need DPROs to be able to help to salvage the image of the Nigerian army. I used to talk to some of the officers in front line, some of them in Matele, some of them in as far as Mongolu. And I know very well, sometimes you give them Wi-Fi to communicate briefly, and after a while it goes. And I remember I was able to tell one of them that I remember attacking in Benishek. He was in Meduguri, I was telling him, this is in your unit, did you hear what happened? He said he didn't hear. And sometimes I ask my Ogadia SK, what is happening? So it boils down to how proactive we are. And anything we can do to help Nigeria move forward. Remember the Rabbi they say, it's not us, it's the army. The army is all of us. If you do this, I particularly have lost a lot of friends who are in the battlefield, and we pray that it doesn't happen again. So please, I want us to make it a point of duty. Let this workshop, every year we organize workshop, image building for commanding officers, DPROs. What does it boil down to? We have to, all these loopholes must be tackled. And that is my own contribution. Thank you.
Okay. The acting director of public relations, very senior information managers here present, gentlemen, I want to have a contribution in respect of how early should we respond to fake news. Because if you don't balance this thing by saying, oh, this is a fake news, just go on the air, you might be adding more fuel rather than curing the situation. And I want to cite an example for, in the case of 2 Division. We are surrounded by communities. And when we are classifying at the range, some people on the other side will be complaining that we are killing their people, we are damaging their properties here and there. So one of these traditional media, I don't want to mention the journalists, when they are cooperated with the lawyer that is defending them, and came up with a narrative that we have injured some people, we have damaged some properties here and there. And the General Officer Command called my attention to it.
Please, please.
As soon as that one came up, the next thing, I didn't have to go on the air and begin to defend the army. All what we did was to invite the media and share ourselves into two. Some people go into the community that are complaining, some others are with us at the range. And we now carried out some. In short, we told some of the media, say just select some soldiers. We are not the one to select, because they will say we have selected good marksmen. So select soldiers. And that's how they selected soldiers. And some firing was done. And the other people on the other end discovered that nothing like that. That was the first way we conquered that fake news. And that very media later on apologized to us. And today, the Nigerian Army Armed Competition is going to take place in Ibadan. Why? Because the fear that our firepower might be increased and it might affect neighboring communities was clear. So we try as much as possible to show evidence of facts that this news is a fake news, not just coming on the air and speaking in the way of defending your own position. Thank you.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay.
Please permit me to stand by the existing protocol. My name is Deputy Superintendent Mohammed Zuru. I happen to be a child from this barrack. There is this issue that sometimes baffles a lot of people in the society. I don't know whether if it is a tradition in the military that whenever they are going to counter insurgents in certain area, they have to come on media to say, we are deploying some troop to social area. Are we not disclosing the movement of troops to those places where the insurgents are having full day? Because that may despair them by hearing the news on air, by the Nigerian army coming out to say there was an attack in Binungwari and we are sending some troops. You are not giving the insurgents that power for them to spread to the other side. Because by giving that information, I'm sure those insurgents will not wait to die. So in that issue, I don't know whether if it is a tradition or as part of the Information Act of 28 May 2011 of the Nigerian Army to must expose their movement whenever there is an insurgent attack in an area, telling the insurgents that they are coming with their troop.
Operational plans.
So, please.
Let us take that one last question.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I just want to add to what has been said. First of all, I think we all must accept the fact that the social media has come to stay. As far as the traditional and social media are concerned, we are more involved with the traditional media, but the social media has now come to stay and we must accept it.
Yeah.
And it is necessary and important that all of us as public relations and information practitioners, we must embrace the use of the internet and the ability to monitor the social media and follow what is happening. Whenever anything happens, of course, as has been mentioned, we must try to give timely response and also give the facts. I want to put on record here that the immediate past Director of Public Relations Army, General Usman, has really done very well because I have monitored over the last 3.5 years when he was heading that place. I have noticed that he has been able to have a very, very effective social media cell within the DAPR there, and anything happening, you see immediate response on what actually is happening as far as the army is concerned. So I think it's a very good trend, and I want to believe that all the other deputy directors or assistant directors within the divisions and other formations will take note and also copy what he has done and also continue to keep the trend happening. The social media, we cannot content sometimes with it, but it's important we also keep a track of contact list of some of the major media organizations. Even the minor ones is important, but we can see that some of them are very mischievous. We can recall here that maybe the owner of the, or the proprietor of the, or the blogger of the social media, Shoore, you can now see what he has done and what government has done to be able to counter some of the things he wanted to put on the country. So it's important that we monitor what is happening and also give a timely response on what is happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Before I hand over to General Ajim, because I would like him to actually round off this session, because take the last question and round off. Before doing that, I would just like to make this very important and vital information for us, the PR people, information officers, what we should consider at any given time when we're having doubt of anything, any information from the field or from the office that we wanted to issue as a press statement. I have that advice I want to give. And similarly, for the journalists, especially on this issue of social media, because you realize that most of the journalists today, they don't rely, unlike traditional way of doing things where you have to go get information, travel, interview, these days just sit and use your phone, Google this, go to social Twitter, and things like that. So what should we do? What should we do for us in public relations, information officer? We know that for every single information we get, before we respond to them, we have to get this one. This is ethical. 1, further investigation to investigate whether that thing happened. 2, there's a need for verification. There's a difference between investigation and verification. Verification is the totality to confirm that exactly that happened, and you authenticate it. When that authentication is done, we have a limitation. That's why I can sympathize to some extent with Colonel, my brother, Sagir. Sometimes when we see something, we know, when we read between the lines, we know why they're happening. What it means is you need the authorization before you go. Because unlike with civilian PRO, like in his own case, most of the thing he was doing, he didn't need to reverse back to his boss. But in the military, for other sensitivity, you need the authorization. After the authorization, you now send it for publication. Now back to us, the journalists, what you have to consider is that anytime when there's anybody that gives you information, you just have to consider this basic 4 facts. And to get it, to deal with every information you get on Twitter, Facebook, everything, there's need for 4 levels of verification. You can verify with a lot of tools in social media. Verify the source. Who actually is the one that is sending that information? From his timestamp, from his profile. There are many systems, many tools that you can use. They call one of them Spokio. With Spokio, when you click on his name, it can give you all the social media platforms, what he has been doing, like when you were registered, and what are the type of his mission. So you can use it to verify the source, whether it's credible, and then you also need to verify the location. If the story is having to do with location, that's how you can verify it. You also need to verify the contents. Most of the time, you use Google search to do it. You also need to verify, even if it's an image or video. That way you can, once somebody share you a video, most of the time you see what's up. The moment somebody sends me a video or photo, there's social media tool that you can use to do what? They call them reverse image. You just put it there, and then it will tell you exactly when actually that image was first used, 5 years, 3 years ago. So all of us, we in the media, we have to be mindful of these verification stages: location, the source, time, and the content. It's very, very important, because if you make a mistake in one of them, by the time you dish out your information, you just lost your credibility. And now I have to ask the general to respond to the last question and then close the session. Once again, I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to moderate this session.
Thank you very much. I think the question was, why do the military disclose the internal operations? Well, I want to say that it is not a strategy from the information management of the military or the national army. There are some questions that, when beginning from the first lecture today, when General Nicola, the former director, was talking about, there are some things that we cannot even talk about them here. I think during the break time, the acting director Army Population was telling me about some things that our principal would want to do, and we say no, don't do it this way. So most times, if you see such thing happening, it comes from the field, and maybe there is no correlation officer in that place, or they don't have a seasoned population that can go to the boss and say, look, don't do it this way. Yeah. And sometimes it's also the pressure from the public. What are you doing? This thing is happening. So with those kind of pressure, someone says, look, to let people know that there is something being done. Yeah. But it's not the strategy. It's not the modern 21st century strategy by the military. That's what
I just want to add, maybe sometimes some of us can be culprit when that issue is raised. I just support you. There are times when it happens, it's more of intelligent thing. That thing you're talking about, I know why you're asking. The military, they have some strategy, but never believe what they say, that issue, I think the point he's raising, maybe we are part of, sometimes some of the media want to have a collaboration with them when it comes to self-censorship. One of the strategy, or probably one of the story, I don't want to mention it here because I don't want people to start bubbling it. There's time when the story came that the troops are moving this way, they are doing like this. They just actually they fly the kite. Actually, they notice, I don't want to mention it now, so that I don't want to know what they mentioned, but they realize that there are some places they want to bring them out. So it's like misleading, but it's purely intelligence issue. And then when you look at those stories, we go back to them, you will never see a spokesperson, enemy, you just see a country lab or something. I think it's deliberate sometimes, not really, just want to push this so that they can ambush them. I think probably that's what it's referring to. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for the discussion and the moderator for doing a very wonderful job. On this note, I want to invite the former Director of Defense Information, Major General Chris Olukolade, retired, to sum up this session. Thank you, sir.
I was saying what a privilege to climb this place one more time. I thank the director for the privilege again. Gentlemen, this is a very important topic and I'm glad the way it's been taken. The fellow who has taken it is definitely an authority, Dr. Rotimi Oladele. When I say authority, he has studied a lot about it, and from his presentation you can confirm that. I also acknowledge the level of justice that this panel has done to that topic. If it were not for this assignment I have to do, I was equally bubbling to have some response. My area of interest will have been that we should be concerned about sources of fake news. Fake news don't drop from heaven. There are people who package it. You know that some, and with due respect, politicians as one major source of fake news. They pay for, and don't just look at fake news as a matter of social media. There have been fake news before social media. You package the news to destroy your opponent. Unfortunately, the trend now is to even package the news with a view to getting at the political opponent. You get at the military, you get at the police, you get at government agencies. Why? Because your real ultimate target is the government. I have one instance I should mention. Many of us were part of trying to quell it, but ended up as fake news. Nigerians still today don't believe that it's a fake news. The first pressure that we began to have in the Northeast was the Baga incidents. Many of us will have forgotten that. What happened in Baga till today still looks like a mystery. Many people believe government was lying. And what was it? The news just came that over 200 plus people were killed in Baga. How many of us remember that story? And when that news came, one, it shocked us in defense headquarters that degree of genocide could be perpetrated in Nigeria. The international media was happy at that. And it was trending everywhere. So this DHQ set up a committee I was glad that I was part of that committee as the DDI. We went straight to Maiduguri, Baga, all the neighboring communities, with a view to tracing or verifying if indeed our soldiers perpetrated this degree of atrocity. Right from Maiduguri, we began to confirm that this thing never took place. We interviewed everybody, both in video and listen. We got the officer whose name was trending as the leader of the one who did that degree of genocide. You will pity this officer. You will pity him. Then we found that the source of this story was actually the governor. And how did it happen? But the governor too didn't even own up that he was the source. When we first of all listened to the officer, graphically we went to the site. There's no possibility of being able to kill that number of people and you will not find traces. The first place we went to was the burial ground. We got to the burial ground. We took the community people. Please show us the burial ground where 282 human beings were buried last week. If that happened last week, at least the graves would be fresh. They couldn't. The maximum grave we found there was about 4 people. Where are these 282? Nobody who was able to point out. Then they say, actually, it was the chairman of the local government who gave that information out. Okay, we'll look for it. As we were just about to leave the community, the chairman of the local government came. He said, good. Okay, please, we want to find the place these 282 people were buried. He said, actually, they told me, the district head told me, blah, blah, blah. Or I showed the district head. But because when we went there, from morning till night we went back. The district head said, no, he didn't tell him so. In fact, the man came from Maiduguri, and immediately he came, he had this incident. The next thing they would say, he ran straight to the governor and told him so has happened. All they were doing was just to generate some story. The final place we went to with the team was the governor. Sir, our mission is to investigate how this number of people were killed and buried. We couldn't see their trace in Baga, but we are keen to know the truth about this matter. The governor said the first thing he opened to say was to say, the gentleman, and that officer there is a good officer. And I'm sorry that he's in this kind of situation, but you people don't deal with him. Because when the army begin to investigate somebody, I know that his career is finished. He began to pacify the team. So this is not even the issue. The issue is we are keen to know how this number of people died. He said, well, you know, information go and all, just you guys know how to handle it. We returned, and our conclusion was that we cannot trace the source of this number of people dying. Do you know that that story didn't still go? It took a second movement. This time with the Al Jazeera reporter. Sabri Musa was part of that team. We took the Al Jazeera reporter. Okay, the reporter equally went to the grave. If this number of people died within the last 2 weeks, the grave will still be fresh. Many of you who watch that film, you will see Musa telling him, say, look at the grave. How many grave people can you see here? But people believe that there was a cover-up. From every investigation, you find that those who are here will be the one to keep engineering it under. They keep engineering and confirming that indeed this thing took place. So some fake news have life. There's a tendency for believability, possibly because of the authorities that are behind, pushing it, which you are not likely to see. You're not likely to see them. Even the Ibadan he referred to, I served in 2D. I will be very glad if what you have said is true. When I say true, that they now believe. Because when General Dambaza was there as GOC, we had the same incident. In fact, it was the governor who called us and was attacking the army. Alawakala at that time. We were telling him, this thing, the shooting from this range, we're not killing anybody. Say no, the communities have been coming here to complain. It happens every year. Okay, so we'll move our range, will move it more into the barracks so that the shots will never get to the community. Whereas in actual fact, the community have encroached on the rangeland. That's the reality. Because when the range was located, they were not there. When they started encroaching gradually, according to them, which we don't even believe, they came within the firing line. But the public still believed that it was the military who is really violating these people. So sometimes the media naturally should be on the side of the oppressed. The belief will be that the people who are lying must be the government. Sometimes these are the motivations for fake news. And like I said, and the point I really want to make clear, that fake news did not start with social media. The social media only came to amplify the reach of fake news. So please make it part of your engagement. You will keep confronting, as a matter of crisis, more and more and more of fake news. When we were in Kuru, we made a presentation. And when I wanted to get at our police, I said, may your road be rough. Many of them, I know those who are laughing, they are older people. You know who said that statement? Taisho Lari of old. Said, may your road be rough. It's not a curse. The other people fled up. You are cursing us. I'm not cursing you. It only means that the things you go through will teach you more lesson. I just wish you that. May your road be rough. So on this note, we are so grateful to this presentation. It's been so eye-opening. And I think as this workshop continues, we'll be learning more and more, both from the experience of people and from the ideas we get from research. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause for that work of experience. The next and last is presentation of gifts. On this note, may I humbly and dutifully invite the Director of Public Relations to make presentation to the moderator and the discussant. First, to the former Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General J. Aikin retired. Please, a round of applause for him, please. Thank you, Mr. Jizi. Next, Mr. Jibrin Baba, that's it, former Special Assistant and the Governor of Niger State. Please, a round of applause for him as he takes his seat. The last but not the least is to the moderator, Alhaji Ishau Shaibu of PR Nigeria. Please, a round of applause to Alhaji Ishau Shaibu of PR Nigeria. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, the director. Thank you, the discussants, and the moderator. Thank you. And before the next lecture, which is going to be on messaging information and new media, the Nigerian news perspective, please, we go for...
No, move straight to the next lecture.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. The director, senior officers, distinguished invited guests. Our next lecture, as you can see on the slides, is on messaging information and the new media, the Nigerian Army perspective. Before I dutifully invite the guest speaker on this lecture, the resource person to do justice to this topic is no other person than our own, the immediate past Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, MNI. But before I invite him to the podium to present his lectures, may I please crave the leisure for the Director to read an abridged version of his resume. Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman was born on the 2nd of February 1965 at Kukasheka Town, Kakara local government area of Katsina State, Nigeria, to the family of Alhaji and Hajia Fatima Usman Dambaba Kukasheka. Because of his brilliance, along with 4 other brilliant pupils, he spent only 4 years in Kukasheka Primary School from 1973 to 1977, after which he proceeded to Government Secondary School, Kafanchan, Kaduna State. He graduated in 1982. The zeal to serve his nation made him enlisted into the Nigerian Army as a soldier in 1982. After 3 years of service, he gained admission into the School of German Studies, Bayero University, Kano in 1986. However, he deferred admission due to the foreign academic session. After completing of the pre-degree courses, he was admitted into the Department of Mass Communication for 4 years. He graduated with Honor Bachelor of Arts degree in Mass Communication in 1991. A year later, he applied for and was granted Direct Short Service Commission with the rank of Lieutenant into the Nigerian Army. Since his commission as an officer in 1992, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman has served in so many formations and units of the Nigerian Army and had 2 peacekeeping operations tour of duty under the United Nations in Sierra Leone from 2002 to 2003, Ethiopia and Eritrea from 2005 to 2006, where he held staff and command appointments. He has also attended many courses both within Nigeria and abroad. Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, retired, has attended several courses here in Nigeria and outside in both military and civil institutions. This includes 6-month basic Arabic course at the Nigerian Army School of Education, Ilorin, in 1994. He also attended the prestigious Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, for junior staff course in 2002. He was also at the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center, Accra, Ghana, for media operation course in 2005. He also did several online courses at United Nations Assistant Training Program with distinctions. Some of the courses did include terrorism and counterinsurgency, military observer and civil military operations and coordination, peacekeeping and international conflict resolution, United Nations Institute for Training and Research, 2003, as well as professionalizing protocol, information and press duties for efficient and effective administration. African Business School, Johannesburg, South Africa. Among others, he also attended United Nations Mandated University for Peace, San Jose, Costa Rica, from 2010 to 2011, where he obtained a Master's of Arts degree in Media, Peace and Conflict Studies. He also has successfully completed the United Nations Basic Security in the Field Staff Safety, Health and Welfare course in May 2011. He also attended Senior Officer Spokesperson course at Joint Information Activities Group, Royal Air Force, Hulton, London, United Kingdom in 2015. He also attended Journalist Protection in Conflict Zone course at Hellenic National Defense General Staff Multinational Peace Support Operation Training Center, Greece in 2016. In addition to seminars, he also attended the prestigious National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies School, where he backed the highly coveted member of the National Institute in 2018. He has attended numerous courses, seminars, and numerous papers and lectures on public relations, both within the Army and in the civil institutions. His honors. In recognition of his extraordinary professional qualities, dedication to duty, and immense contribution to soldiering and public relations practice, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman is highly decorated with military honors and awards. Some of these include First Service Star, an award for 9 years of unblemished record of service in the Nigerian Army. Meritorious Service Star for attaining 20 years of unblemished record of service. Distinguished Service Star for over 25 years unblemished service or record of service. And General Operation Medal, GOM, for his brevity and unquantifiable contribution to the fight against terrorism and insurgency in the country, and Operation Zaman Lafia Medal in 2015. He also has the Silver Jubilee Medal, Golden Jubilee Medal, and the United Nations Medal for Peace from the United Nations Mission in Sierra Leone in 2003, as well as the United Nations Medal for Peace from the United Nations Mission in Eritrea and Ethiopia in 2006. He was equally given Certificate of Merit for Radio Production from the headquarters of United Nations African Mission in Sierra Leone in 2003, and Certificate of Appreciation for excellent contribution to the success of first ever peacekeeping course for emerging troops, police contributing countries in 2004, and many more. He is happily married and is blessed with beautiful children. At his leisure, Brigadier General Saniku Kasheka Usman enjoys reading and listening to music. Indeed, Usman has been an officer and a gentleman. There is no doubt he has scraped his name in gold in the annals of public relations practice and information management in Nigeria. No sooner than he announced his retirement, the National Open University also appointed him faculty member of business school at the postgraduate school. Similarly, the Nigerian Army appointed him as a consultant director, corporate affairs and information at the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja. In addition, he is a board member of 2 reputable international and media organizations, and does consultancy on public relations and information management. He is also the founder of managing director of Mahangi Communication Service, a public relations consultancy outfit. On this note, please join me as I dutifully invite the presenter, Brigadier General Saniku Kasheka Usman, MNI, to the podium to present his lecture. Please a round of applause for him as he welcome. Thank you very much.
Our grand oracle in public relations practice, and of course the military public relations practice, Major General Chris Olukolade, MNI, retired, Director of Army Public Relations, senior officers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Really, it is heartwarming to be here. Just like General Olukolade was basking on the euphoria that he was coming up here for the second time, mine, I think I feel highly elated this time around that I'm up, not an MC down there, because I have served in one division for 2 years between 2012 to 2014. So it's a very rare privilege for me to be up here to talk on a very interesting and important issue, which is messaging information and the new media perspective, having the Nigerian Army in perspective. And it equally gives me great pleasure to be in the midst of the officers and soldiers of the Directorate of Army Public Relations on this auspicious occasion of the combined second and third quarter workshop and study period for the year 2019. In particular, I must commend the foresight and the wonderful leadership of my younger brother and friend. Sometimes if I want to deal with Sagir, I would choose the relationship. Then I will deal with him accordingly. We happen to come from the same area, so he's my younger brother. And when I want to look for his trouble, I remember he was my senior in the university. And he still owes us our contribution of Katsina State Student Union money. I really must thank you, Sayer, and the able officers of the Directorate, and it's really heartwarming that training is given priority as manifested in this forum. I also like to thank you immensely for giving me the opportunity to talk on this topic, messaging, information, and the new media, Nigerian Army in perspective. There is no doubt that this is very timely, given the fact that the Nigerian Army has been involved in the fight against terrorism and insurgency and internal security operations for over a decade now, those being in the eyes of the public always. Now, the new social media and the use of web-based mobile technologies that turn communication activities into meaningful interactive dialogues. According to Kaplan and Helen, social media is a group of internet-based applications that build on the ideological and technological foundations of Web 2.0, which allows for the creation and exchange of user-generated content. Indeed, the advent of the social media has brought to the fore, brought the new dimension to public relations practice and the way we communicate generally. More than ever before, public relations practice have to adjust to the new development to get the desired impact and attention when communicating because of the challenge social media is posing to everybody today. Therefore, the knowledge and effective utilization of social media is important in today's public relations practice. And this brings me to the aim of this presentation, which is to discuss messaging information and the new media with emphasis on the Nigerian Army's perspective. And in so doing, I'm going to define the conceptual terms or key terms. We'll look at traditional and the new media, as well as the characteristics of the new media and the use of social media in the Nigerian Army, social media policy in the Nigerian Army, as well as creating social media messaging. And before I conclude, I would like to also talk on the tips in creating social media message and make a few recommendations. Now, to definition of key terms. Basically, I will start with the messaging. And according to, again, my very good friend, in 2019, he defined messaging as a message can simply be described as a short communication transmitted by words, written or spoken, signs, nonverbal communication, or other means from one person, group, institutions, or organization to another. Messaging in this context refers to the way information is communicated to the targeted audience through the new media. So basically, anytime we are talking about messaging, this is exactly what we mean in this presentation. Information. The word information has a variety of meanings. However, information is any communication to someone, group, or audience that could be coded verbally or non-verbally, electronically, physically, or digitally that conveys meaning. And information in this presentation refers to communication of and receiving of messages that have meaning. New media. The new media is a means of mass communication using digital technologies such as the internet. New media provides users with a mix of interpersonal and mass communication capabilities that never existed before, with greater appeal and emphasis on interactivity, connectivity, and mobility. New media also means the social media. Both the terms will be used interchangeably to mean the same thing in this presentation. Now, getting to perspective. The word perspective is a noun that gives an insight to a particular point of view or insight into something. It also means particular attitude towards or way of regarding something. Therefore, when something is in perspective, it means the prism through which it is being viewed. Consequently, when it is said Nigerian Army is perspective, it refers to Nigerian Army's attitudes towards the new media. Now let's look at traditional and the new media. According to the Nigerian Army Media Operation Handbook, published in 2009, and I quote, media is the means by which news and information is communicated to the public through the airwaves and newspapers. It went further to add that the general usage now collectively considers the media to be television, radio, and the press. Whereas Dennis Marquel stated that the expression new media started in the 1960s because mass communication has to accommodate an expanding and diversifying set of applied communication technologies. The new media phenomenon entails linking information communication technology to associated social contexts that further link technological artifacts, devices, activities, practice, and uses within social arrangement and organization that form around the devices and practices. Thus, following development in the information and communication realm, the new media emanated. And according to Wikipedia, new media most commonly refers to content available on demand through the internet, accessible on any digital device, usually containing interactive user feedback and creative participation. It went further to state common examples of new media to include websites, online newspapers, blogs, wikis, video games, and the social media. And one of the differentiating characteristics of new media as compared to the mainstream media is interaction and dialogue. New media transmit content through connection and conversation. In essence, it is interactive in nature. It is interactive in nature as opposed to other media. It has feedback, thus essentially makes it vulnerable to be used positively and negatively. It enables people around the world to share, comment on, and discuss on a wide variety of issues or matters. New media thrives in instant interaction, sharing, and interconnectedness. And unlike the well-known traditional or mainstream media, the social media does not belong to anyone. Rather, it is agreed protocol. Essentially, traditional media comprise of newspapers, magazines, static outdoor billboards, radio, and television. Now one can read an online newspaper, watch television on his laptop, computer, smartphone. Billboards and books are also electronic these days. Whereas the mainstream media, there is passive participation of the audience, the new media is instantaneous. Information of any type is at the user's fingertips without any gatekeeping. That means even the user himself, he can generate content. And to have an understanding or further understanding of the concept of the new media, it is important to further distinguish it with the traditional media. The new media is a form of mass communication which uses the internet to disseminate information to individual, group, or millions of persons. The new media is further differentiated with the traditional media because of the use of technology to enhance interactiveness and two-way flow of information. It allows users to give their opinions instantly unlike mainstream or traditional media, such as newspapers or magazines, that have to wait for the editor to actually print their concerns, and most often than not, they don't get printed or broadcast at all. The difference here is that when you compare any of the media, social media platforms, take for instance either Facebook or Twitter, wherever you have, just like Lukolade earlier mentioned, that is instant. And of course, nobody gives any damn about bureaucracy and the rest of it. So wherever you put, people can just see it there and then. Unlike a situation, for instance, if a newspaper publishes anything, before you can put it, it will take a while, especially when it has been printed. So the new media makes everyone a publisher or broadcaster, as it enables users to generate and disseminate contents. New media provides users with a mix of interpersonal and mass communication capabilities that never existed before, with greater appeal and emphasis on interactability, connectivity, and mobility. Take for instance, anybody with a smartphone can become a publisher or broadcaster of news. All you need to do is to snap the photograph and start generating. Within a few seconds, you may get hundreds of thousands or even millions likes or feedbacks. New media also means the social media, which is characterized by those internet-based applications or platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, amongst others. Within the past 10 years, social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, Plikt, and others have grown to a tremendous rate, enlisting an astronomical number of users. Take for instance, as of April this year, there are about 2.23 billion users of Facebook. Social media, therefore, have inevitably become an integral part of public relations practice and all aspects of our daily lives. Now, coming to the use of social media in the Nigerian Army. The social media holds great potential for the Nigerian Army, which has taken advantage of it to the point of maintaining official social media accounts on Facebook and Twitter. It also disseminates official information through such platforms as WhatsApp also. To denote the importance of the internet and indeed the social media, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tiwa Brata, once noted that the internet is crucial for communication and real-time reportage of activities. Nonetheless, however, social media presents some challenges to military operations, particularly the fight against terrorism and insurgency and other internal security operations. These challenges range from the use and abuse of the social media by some officers and soldiers, the public and other groups. And of course, we have seen by this other group, as the case may be, some of the so-called online publications that take undue advantage of the social media to publish falsehood. Even I could recall way back in 2016, one of the online media came out with a story about the Chief of Army Staff being torn by a church along Olusegun Obasanjo Street in Abuja. And I know as of this moment, there was no church between national arts and culture up to federal road safety, because that is Olusegun Obasanjo way in Abuja. And how do you, for goodness sake, believe that medium again? So you can see the extent to which it can also be used negatively, but the story is still there on the website of that newspaper. So the use of social media platforms to peddle rumors, relay inaccurate information, and discredit truths to the benefit of the terrorists has been a recurring decimal in Nigeria. Of course, we have had our various experiences, especially those that had tours of duty in the northeast and other places where people take undue advantage of the situation and propagate fake news and rumors about the conduct of the troops, which is actually not true. Regardless of these problems, the media strategy of the Nigerian Army remains the same, which is, and I quote, is ensuring timely dissemination of information to the public on developments in its operations and other activities. End of quote. This is being implemented vigorously through various platforms, including the social media. It has, however, been observed that the unguided use of social media by troops have affected the conduct of operations and negatively impacted on the image of the Nigerian Army. Of course, you can go on and mention several instances where such things have done a lot of damage to the image of the Nigerian Army. And these troops comprise of authorized and unauthorized officers and soldiers, thereby lowering the morale of our troops at the front line. In other words, we are now involved in information warfare where the adversary is also exploiting the potentials of the social media to its advantage. What I'm trying to say here is that there are some people that actually they are legally authorized to disseminate information, but they don't know how to disseminate it. At the end of the day, they are even kind of empowering the enemy, who usually take advantage of it, because there is what you call open source of information. You have a lot of information out there on the social media. Inadvertently, when you are sending out information, you are also telling the adversary your future intents. Take for instance, I could remember there was a particular soldier before the capture of Alagarno. He posted on his Facebook page that they need the prayer because they are going to capture that dreaded forest. Anybody living in Maiduguri knows the extent to which the troops have gone into the fight against terrorism and insurgency, and there were rumors actually that the next thing is to storm the spiritual headquarters of the Boko Haram. Inadvertently and knowingly too, he was telling the Boko Haram terrorists they were coming for them. And of course there were instances through careless talk. Sometimes people in position will give out information unknowingly and the adversary take and do advantage of it. Now, let's look at the social media policy of the Nigerian Army. The social media platforms have assumed a fundamental role in our society. And social media is of strategic importance to the Nigerian Army as they offer a mine of information that could be analyzed and also be utilized to impact positively on the society. So it's more or less like two ways. So much as you disseminate information, you can also get information on the social media. Social media could be used as a powerful tool for information gathering and cyber espionage. I know not just the directorate, but even the intelligence got a lot of information on some of these terrorists on their respective Facebook platforms too. However, one careless click of a mouse or a smartphone can in a few seconds lead to sharing of sensitive military operational information that could jeopardize the success of the operation. However, despite the importance and heavy usage of social media, the Nigerian Army does not have social media policy. Rather, it draws inference from the various Defense and Army Headquarters Directive and most recently, the Defense Headquarters Social Media Policy of 2018. And the first of these directives was dated 8 March 2012. There are a series of them up to 5th April 2016 and of course 1st November 2016. I do not know whether these directives have further been reviewed or strengthened to suit contemporary happenings. These directives and the Defense Headquarters policy are not comprehensive enough, and most of the time they are regulatory. And what I mean here is that for you who are who are public relations practitioners, basically it is regulatory. Don't do that, you should not do that, you should not do that, but there are not much do's, rather you have don'ts, and that is why it is regulatory. There should be particular line of strategic communication in which it will guide you in taking maximum advantage of the social media. However, it is important to note that although not comprehensive, these directives have to some extent given sense of direction on the use of social media by service personnel. Nonetheless, there is much to do on the sensitization of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army on the use of the social media. Therefore, a forum like this is very germane in that regard. This has not precluded the need for a Nigerian Army social media policy that could address the peculiarity of the Nigerian Army. Now, talking about messaging, it is always good to understand that before you even compose messaging, there are some theoretical perspective, and there are models through which you can view your messaging. And in an environment such as ours, that is pluralistic, any public relations must involve the use of the media, traditional, mainstream, or new media. And according to Oliver, there are varieties of messaging models that a public relations practitioner will utilize, among which are, and I start with transmission model. This model views communication as a transmission, as transmitting a fixed amount of information. It posited that the media does not originate messages, rather relays its accounts of selected events. And this is very true given the way some of the new media select and frame their stories on key military issues. And I can bet you, by the time you look at the reportage of this combined workshop and study period, you will see that so many things have taken place. The papers presented at the discussion, but the perspective might be different in some of the media. Then secondly, the ritual or expressive model. This type of messaging model implies that there is always a motive behind every communication, certainly. And it could be to inform with a view to influence attitude or opinion. It is also ritualistic because of the processes or the procedures involved in messaging. For instance, when the social media denotes sharing, participation, or even association. Here, it means when they talk about being ritual, it is the fact that before you set out to even communicate, definitely you must have a reason. And it is expressive. Basically, it is ritual because there is a particular pattern of way of doing things. Then again, sometimes some of the media or even yourself, when you post certain things, you would like it to be shared, or sometimes you want even the public to take active part. Take for instance, I know there is a live streaming on of this event to which you are calling on some of your colleagues and all the rest of them to take active part by watching the live streaming. So basically, it is expressive, it is also ritual because there are patterns of doing it. Then publicity model. The model viewed the sender as not attempting to transmit anything, rather is simply looking out for visual or oral attention. In other words, the public view the media not as a source of information, but escapism from reality. Of course, you all know the various theories, of course, even of mass communication. To what extent really is the media reflecting the true situation as it is? Basically, it is more or less of entertainment than educating or enlightening the public. So, and the fourth aspect is the reception model. This model argues that both the sender and the encoder base all meaningful messages on signs whose meaning depend on the choices made. Thus, the decoders are not obliged to accept the sent message. If you like, you can send out press releases. Sometimes it is at the whims and caprices of the audience to determine whether you are making sense, whether they will even listen to it. So basically, this is the reception model. So whenever you are sending out messages, think along this line, which of the model best suited your own messaging system. Now, messaging information in the Nigerian Army. And in discussing this aspect, I found my friend's chapter, my friend Brigadier General John Agim, retired PhD, and published book on messaging very apt, and take liberty to produce some aspect that deal with messaging. And according to him, he said a message can simply be described as a short communication transmitted by words written or spoken, signs, verbal or non-verbal communication, or other means from one person, group, institution, or organization to another. He went further to state that messaging is the ability of your communicator to bring all the elements of communication